Welcome to Dark Horizon Creations. This time we're taking a look at the Jurassic World Rebirth Tail Thrasher Spinosaurus by Mattel. Now, if you hadn't already, please follow, like, and subscribe to my social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get a notification of when I post new content. Tonight we're taking a look at the electronic Tail Thrasher Spinosaurus from the Jurassic World Rebirth toy line. So it's really cool to get one of these in hand, and I'll tell you all what I said before when I reviewed the Jurassic World Rebirth Spinosaurus Danger Set. I'm not a fan of this design for the Spinosaurus. There are some paleontologists out there who believe that there are two different species of Spinosaurus, and I'm of the same thought. Everyone remembers the Spinosaurus from Jurassic World 3, upright, walking on land, dominating the T-Rex in battle. And then you have this version from Jurassic World Rebirth, which is much more amphibian in nature, crocodilian in appearance, excels at hunting prey in an aquatic environment. And we see some of that in some of the clips from the teaser trailers. So I think it's safe to say there's two different variants of this animal that have existed over time. Really interesting toy, so let's get right into the review. First, I want to talk about the packaging. Open cardboard display box. I am not a fan of this type of packaging at all. There are just too many ways for this toy to be damaged when it's being unpacked and placed on the shelves by stockers, as well as with people just picking them up, playing with them on the store shelf. One particular thing to pay attention to with this toy is the tail. And you can see that the tail is made up of several independent segments for the animatronic features to operate. That's a cost-saving measure by Mattel, because typically with a fully animatronic toy like this, the motorized components would be concealed within a flexible tail section. Here they've chosen to use independently hinged sections to make up the length of the tail for the animal. That could potentially be broken. So if you're buying this in a brick and mortar store versus ordering it online, you do want to pick it up, ensure that it's free of damage, or defects, or missed QC issues with the paint apps. On the back of the packaging, you've got your obligatory product shots of the Spinosaurus, as well as some of the specific play features in the inset. And over on the left, you've got the scan to unlock feature on the bottom of his foot for the Jurassic World app. Alright, so here we have the Spinosaurus outside of the packaging. This is a really impressive toy. So to begin, let's bring him in close so you guys can see the attention to detail. First and foremost, I want to talk about the head. The skull on these animals was very elongated, low profile, very narrow, much like crocodilian today. And you can see they had long, narrow, conical teeth, no serrations on them. You can see on the toy the mouth will open. The neck is on a hinge here. And this is part of the animatronic gimmick for this toy. The design of the plastic on the head is very realistic. They did an incredible job molding this and then applying the different levels of paint applications and what looks like a wash on it, because it has a very leathery appearance to it, but it's still hard plastic. So if you think about the real feel T-Rex and real feel Indominus Rex that's reimagined, this looks like that but doesn't feel like that. And you can see all the detail around the snout, the sinus structure, around the eye socket there. They did a phenomenal job with that aspect of it. They paid a lot of attention to detail to this and invested a lot in the molding of the head sculpt on this toy. A lot of detail on the neck, muscular structure there, forelimbs, and you guys can see that they'll move up and down, out. 3 digits, unpainted on each one, 3 claws. And the most predominant feature on the Spinosaurus, of course, is the sail. And on this iteration, this version, the sail has a lower flattened profile with the neural spines coming off of the vertebrae. These are said to be about 5.5 feet tall. The tips of them coming up through the skin there, you see that. This is actually the activation button for the animatronic features. We'll look at that in a moment. You can see that the feet will rotate. You can turn them. Very limited in the range of motion for the hind legs. Very difficult to get those to turn. And you can put him like in a walking pose like that, but you have to really position his legs and feet to get him to balance correctly due to the weight of his tail, because all the weight of this toy is on that. And you can see that his tail is long and narrow. It has the same neural spines coming off here, very thin, as well as a chevron shape, which gives it a profile like a paddle, you know, a rudder, which would allow them to control their speed in the water. If these things were real, they would definitely have been very fast in the water. Then on the bottom of the toy, you've got the battery compartment right there. The speaker, there's your code scan. You can see some of the tan and gray paint apps on the bottom. Identical all the way around. Now, for those curious about the dimensions of the Spinosaurus, he is approximately 21.5 inches in length and 9 3/4 inches tall at the top of his spine. Now, for the animatronic feature, just press the button. Let's talk about comparisons. First, I'll bring out the Spinosaurus from the Target exclusive Danger set. You can see how they scale together. Next is the Lab Lockdown Tyrannosaurus Rex. This is pretty close to real world scale for both of these dinosaurs. And here's the Spinosaurus with a 1/18 scale Zora Bennett action figure. And finally, I'll bring out the Jurassic World Epic Attack Spinosaurus. This is one of the best designed dinosaurs within any of the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World toy lines. Overall, this is a really cool toy. If you're a collector or fan of Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, you definitely want to add this to the collection. So there you have the Jurassic World Rebirth Spinosaurus by Mattel.